executives. We're going to get one more from Jane. Let me tell you a little bit about Jane and introduce her to you. Jane Cormier is one of the most enthusiastic new representatives in our State House. She was elected for her first term a little over a year ago, and she's already made a great name for herself in the New Hampshire legislature. She serves Belknap 8, which includes Alton, Barnstead, and Yeomanry. And I believe Doris mentioned what happened in Alton when she was talking, and I think Jane's going to tell us a little more about that. She's a proponent of small government and states' rights. And also, maybe you do know this, but she's also an opera singer. Representative Cormier is going to tell us the story of what happened recently in Alton, so join me in welcoming her now.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's heartening to see so many people that care about our children's education. Excuse me. And we have a full house here, which is just, I love it. It's great. I also want to take this opportunity to thank these two ladies who are sitting to my left, because they have been doing such wonderful work to educate those of us who came late to the game, and myself included. And their information is so important for us to take up so that we can go to battle. This is a battle, folks. And really make the changes we need to make to really improve education for our kids here in New Hampshire. Common Core is not the way to do it. As you just heard from Diane, I'm new to this whole political game, right? I wish I could scratch rep off here tonight, because that's really not, my heart isn't here as a rep, it's here as a mom of two, and it's here as someone who in the past 2 years has watched our administrative state, both in New Hampshire and our government, go absolutely crazy. And I woke up one day, about 1.5 years ago, thinking, my God, my community is not the same one I lived in 9 years ago. What is going on? When I started checking in and waking up, I saw that not only did I have to get into the game, but I had to start networking in Alton to get other friends into the game. And I have to tell you, and you know what, this isn't Republican or Democrat at all. I am so heartened to tell you that you and I, we have the power to make any change in our state that we see fit to make. And I want to also tell you that I believe the Department of Ed in New Hampshire has gone off the rails in overestimating what their power is for our local communities and in educating our children and working with our families to do so. I really feel that. I think that it's important for you to know that if you question the DOE, if you question the people that are promoting the propaganda of Common Core, they're going to come back at you and tell you that what you think isn't true, that it's a great tested standard curriculum and it's all great, but none of it has factual basis. And if you stick to the facts that these ladies can give you, you will see that it falls apart. Alton recently decided, my husband's now on the school board. We saw in the summer that we were going to have some trouble because our school board at the time was 5-0. I don't think any parents in 2010 knew that our schools in Alton had signed on to Common Core. I didn't find one other parent that knew. What did this happen? How did this happen? Well, what happens is the DOE sends the representative and they say to the superintendent, this is great. Then the superintendent says to the board, well, here, just sign this. This is great. This is going to take care of everything. And the board does. Because we don't question the power of the DOE or any other big government entity, right? So now here we have Common Core, and we're already full boat, putting it into our schools. And when we went to our school board 5-0, pretty much we were told to pound sand. I have to tell you that in I believe June, this past summer, a group of legislators went to a board meeting in Concord. I believe Doris was at that meeting, and other parents that were concerned about Common Core. And we spoke, we asked to speak, and they graciously said, okay, we could speak, but no comments, just our little speech, and we couldn't ask questions or anything. That's fine. So when we got up to speak, or before we got up to speak, the head honcho, who was Chair Raffio, or is that Chairman Raffio, decided to say once, well, we're going to let the legislators speak first, but we all know that that train has left the station. And I was sitting in my seat, and I looked around, and we had a packed house in this little office. I mean, we were like wall-to-wall people. I thought that was passing strange that someone would say that. But, you know, I let him go, and he kept going, and then again, he said to someone else, but that train has already left the station. And at that point, I really went kind of, whoop, whoop, okay. So I took my speech that I had written, and I put it aside, and I told Chair Raffio, and I believe this, and I hope that you understand, you are the same, you can believe this too. Well, Chair Raffio, we're the taxpayers, we're the parents, and if we don't like Common Core, we are going to send that train right back. How an agency that is supposed to be a benevolent agency to help our children can have a strong arm tactic to those who question them in authority. And I say no. So we went back to Alton, and we took that 5-0. We got some new blood on that school board. We held 2 separate meetings. We invited every parent. We gave them free food. The second meeting, Doris came, and she bumped up the factual basis behind my rah-rah. And you know what? We voted a month ago, and the vote was 3-2 to vote Common Core out of all schools. Listen to the facts. They weren't so entrenched in the ideology that someone else knows better that we did the right thing for the kids. Now we have some challenges. We have to put our house in order now. But you know what? We will put our house in order in Alton. And we will do what we have to do to get high standards for our kids now that we know what the game is being played. And we will follow through and make sure that the assessments are fair. And we will do everything in Alton, and I pray that everybody in this state does everything they can to make sure that their schools not only have high standards, but remember that our country is about personal exceptionalism. That's what we're about. Uniformity sounds great. And that might be the grand global plan of the whole earth that, you know, little United States isn't playing so nice right now, but we're trying awful hard, right, to be as cool. Well, that's fine. But you know what? My child is no longer in public school. My kids always went to public school. I had a short period where I tried homeschooling. God bless Doris. I wasn't a good homeschooling mom, and I recognized that right away. And I said, you know what? We got to put her in the school. So let's do this, right? I tried. That being said, my son, I didn't like the fact that at the time Alton was doing Common Core, and I pulled him out, and he's in a private school right now, and he'll go back to public school when we get the train back on the correct direction. But, you know, you do what you have to do. I tell you, parents, the concerns here, my husband and I, by the way, are both educators. My husband is a certified teacher and in the state of New Hampshire, and I've been teaching music in private and public schools for a lot of years. I teach currently, I have 3 different teaching jobs right now, in between my runs to the Concord State House. And I have to tell you, as a parent, I'm so concerned about this data money. And I want you to know that they have the DOE and the representatives constantly tell you, because we go to a lot of the meetings. My husband and I, if he can't go, I'll go. If he can't go, you know, we strive to tag team. Always the same words. Your privacy is safe. And you know what? It's like is safe. You have to be strong enough to say, What about FERPA? Did they not amend it in 2011 and take down the firewalls to allow third-party access without parental signature? That's what it says. That's the truth. And if you don't believe me, and you shouldn't necessarily believe me, right? I mean, we should find our facts out for ourselves. You will find that that's true. You and I and our kids have no privacy. Who's taking that away from us? How dare they take that away from us? That is our right. New Hampshire's a wonderful little state. New Hampshire has a wonderful opportunity here to show the rest of the country what sovereignty is all about, folks. And that's not Republican and that's not Democrat. That's American. If you want to go back to your town and say, what was it that did it? I'll tell you what did it. My board members, our board members told us, first thing was cost. They cannot tell you what it will cost. The DOA can't do it. Keep asking, because we still have no number. They say the standards are higher and they're tested. We can't find any thread that shows us where they were tested. If you can find them and let us know, I'd love to look at it. We can't find it. We've been looking. We can't find it. Loss of local control, that's paramount. We all know that. The data mining is huge. In Bloom, David Gates started In Bloom after he funded the race to the top funds to get Common Core in our country. So now he's come up, after he sells all the Microsoft computers to all these schools and all the technology, he's just making out like a bandit. You love the free market system, don't you? And now we have In Bloom, and In Bloom is this huge database.
Yes.
Huge. And if you know what, read In Bloom. Go to In Bloom on net and see what they're about. It's chilling. And it pretty much says right on that site that this is all about taking this information from our kids and giving it to third-party organizations, trade and labor. Our kids should not be followed from kindergarten to 20. That's just a fact. And until we start standing up and saying, we are the boss, we're the government, you work for us, and do that fearlessly, we're going to continue to have this issue. So I say thank you again for coming out. I thank you so much, and you guys too.
GrokTV.